the method of doing any work matters a lot. Suppose there is a question to add 23 and 13, then someone will simply think in the mind and he'll write that okay, 23 plus 13, it is 36. Someone will rewrite the question using mathematical operations that 23 add 13 and it is equal to 36. Beginning with this scenario, I welcome you all here. Myself Arnisa, a first year MBBS student. In today's video, I'll talk about the method which I used to follow to solve my MCQs. So let's begin without wasting too much time. When I used to go to the doubt classes to ask the questions from my teacher, then meanwhile I used to see many students following different patterns of solving MCQs. Suppose if a physics teacher gives 30 questions in homework, then someone will solve on the blank spaces provided just beside that question in that module itself. Someone will take a blank paper, and he will solve over there, and after 2 or 3 days no one knows where that paper will blow away. So the same pattern is being followed by them for chemistry, I mean to say for numerical solving, that is for physical chemistry. And for organic, when we have to do mechanism based questions, we have to make structures, there is a stepwise process, then also they'll do the same thing. Now if they have to solve 90 questions of biology, then they will simply mark their answers in that module itself. In this way they are making their modules dirty, and if they will want to solve the same questions for the next time, then they will feel uncomfortable to solve them again, because the book will be so dirty. So I recommend you not to follow these methods if you are solving your question for the very first time. Follow these patterns of solving MCQs only when you are done with your syllabus. You have a grip, you have a command on the topic very well. So now I am talking about what I used to do. If I have to solve 180 questions from biology, then I'll use a technique. It's my technique, which is 10x technique. I'll draw the table in which the number of rows is 10 and the number of columns here is 18, starting from 0 to 18 to 17th. So I'll now making that table, I'll simply read the question number 1 and I'll opt the answer whatever it may be, A, B, C or D. So what is the advantage of making this table? The advantage, the importance of making this table is that, number 1, it my time, the time consumed is very less. If suppose if I had not made this table, then I had to write the numbers beginning from number 1 to 180, and it's a tedious task. Second, the space covered by me to solve these 180 questions is very less. I have confined the 180 questions in the form of a table. Now the third one, and that is we can assess how many number of questions we have done correct or incorrect. Now suppose I have to solve physics question, 30 questions from physics, or it can be any numerical question from physical chemistry also, then I'll simply take a copy and I'll write number 1 and then I'll solve number 1 question, then I'll write number 2 and I'll solve number 2 question. Doing the same technique, I'll solve the questions up to number 30. If I found any question difficult for me, if I am not able to solve that question, then I'll simply leave a blank space for that question, and I'll solve over there again when my teacher helps me to solve that question. The advantage of making a separate copy for physics and chemistry is that my books remain tidy, and second thing, when I have to solve the same questions again, when I have to revise the things, then if I am getting stuck into the same question again, then I'll simply check the solution of that particular question in my notebook. So for now, concluding today's video, the crux is that follow 10x technique for solving biology MCQs, and for solving numericals, make a notebook of yours. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If indeed, then share it with your friends, subscribe the channel. Until I upload the next video, stay safe, stay happy. Thank you and all the best.